Sheikh, I have a small confusion about, we know in Islam we're allowed to wipe over the socks, and from the previous videos you said it could be any kind, but some people they're saying like they're putting conditions, like if it's thin and the water can seep through, if it's permeable, then you cannot wipe over it because you cannot walk miles with the sock as well, and they put these conditions. Is there any basis for this? Like they say if it goes through the sock, then it's not a khuf, or it doesn't take the ruling of a khuf because the water is seeping through it for the thin socks. I'm not talking about the thick, just the thin one. Can we still wipe over this? And is what they're saying is correct? Like you have to be able to walk a mile or not? Jazakum khair.
Wajazakum. First of all, this is an issue of dispute among scholars. Some say that the conditions of the khuf, which is the footwear, has to be thick, it has to be leather, it has to stay and fit by itself, that it won't fall off, and the likes. And we as Muslims, we go back to the Quran and Sunnah, because whenever there's an issue of dispute, Allah says, return it back to Allah and to His Messenger, to Quran and to the Sunnah. So when we go back to the Quran and the Sunnah, we find that the Prophet wiped over his khuf. Now, the description of khuf is footwear that covers the whole foot up to the ankles. It was never mentioned it should be thin, thick, see-through, not see-through. It shouldn't be made of wool or cotton or nylon. It must be made of leather, because in other narrations the companions used to wipe over whatever was on their feet, whether they were socks or whether they were like bandages wrapped around it, and it had holes in it, and you could see the skin in some cases, which indicates that these rules set by some schools of thought, these are ijtihad, but they're not based on Quran and Sunnah. So making it difficult and restricting it to a specific type of material or a description that was not mentioned in the Quran and the Sunnah, rather it's an issue of ijtihad. They would probably say, oh, we go back to the language. Yeah, but the language does not determine or limit. As long as it's called a khuf and I'm wearing it, and the concession was made to make life easy, then I accept that from Allah Azza wa Jal, and I do that on any type of socks I wear.